When you were in that abusive relationship, you knew that it was wrong and abusive, but you still stayed?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you think you stayed? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you body sculpt yourself?
Yes, of course. I'm over there like, most of my students call me like, hey, I already made my money back from the class.
How did you get the idea for the rolling papers, and how did you make it come to reality? What is your experience being a woman in a male-dominated business?
They had no interest in buying my paper. They're like, oh, let's go on a date.
What exactly is body sculpting?
So it's a non-invasive weight loss treatment, and it helps people lose weight.
Are most of your clients women or men?
Both.
Really?
Well, the majority are women, but I'm starting to get a lot of men.
What do men ask for? What's poppin'? It's your boy Moses, aka Nomo, chilling right here inside the Lit Outlet podcast. I got a very special guest in the building. I got Miss
Monica, aka Mamacita, the owner of Rolling with Mamacitas Rolling Papers.
That's right. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and welcome to Southgate, the first and last time you're ever going to be here, because the only time people pull up to Southgate is to be on the podcast.
Just to let you know, my grandma does stay in Southgate. So I pull up to Southgate often.
That's right. That's right.
So shout out to Southgate.
Hell yeah, shout out to Southgate. But let's just jump straight into it. Where were you born and raised, and like tell me a little bit about your upbringing.
Okay, so I was born in St. Francis Hospital.
Oh shit. Damn.
So I kind of moved around a lot when I was a kid. So I did live in Southgate, went to school at Paramount, East LA, and I even went to school in the IE.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I moved around a lot, so I know people everywhere, really.
Okay. Where are your parents from?
Both my parents are from Mexico.
Okay, what part of Mexico?
Yeah, so my dad's from Michoacan and my mom's from Chihuahua.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michoacan is like super south, no? Like and then Chihuahua is like super north?
Yes.
So how the hell did your parents meet?
They met here. They met.
way.
So my dad was a musician.
Okay.
And I guess my mom went to go see him perform at a concert one day, and they met there. So I guess
We gotta take a second from this episode to give a shout out to our sponsor, Mr. Yu's Chinese Food. They've been in business since 1992. And that's right, it all started in the IE. The Montclair location offers a Teriyaki Tuesday. You get a bowl of teriyaki plus a drink for only $6. You heard right, only $6. Come here a little closer. Let me let you in on a little secret about Mr. Yu. Did you know they had a secret menu? That's right, you heard it here first. They got a secret menu. Let me tell you a few things about their secret menu. They got Spam fried rice, Thai chili fries, teriyaki chicken fried rice, pad Thai, jalapeno wontons. And that's just to name a few. Again, shout out to Mr. Yu for sponsoring this episode. Now let's get back to the show.
he stopped her and got her number, and she always complains that he waited like a month to like call her or whatever. So I'm like, okay.
Damn, what kind of music did he do?
So it was kind of like, my dad sings and he plays the guitar.
Okay.
So the kind of music was kind of like Los Bukis. I don't know what you would consider that.
Okay. Yeah,
But
I'm not sure what they...
yeah, I don't know what it's called, but that's what he used to sing in a group.
Okay, so you're first generation Mexican American.
Yes.
Okay, was your household an English or Spanish household?
Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm pretty fluent. I'm fluent in Spanish, so Spanish was my first language.
Okay. Especially following you on Instagram and meeting you at the Bozo show. Shout out to Bozo.
Shout out Bozo.
That's right. I can obviously tell that you got a kind of, I wouldn't say a strong personality, but I say you're focused and you know what you want and stuff like that. Do you feel like that's something that you gain later in life, or you've always been like that since a young person?
Yeah, so thanks for asking that, because I feel that I had, my dad was always a really hard worker, so I feel like, just watching him work so hard his whole life, I feel that I just pretty much gained the work ethic from him.
Growing up in like these different high schools and stuff like that, were you hanging out with the paisas? Were you hanging out with the rockers, the cholos? Well, who were you hanging out with?
Well, it was really a culture shock, from, East LA to going to Paramount High, because it's like, in East LA, it's just Mexican people, and then you go to to Paramount, and it's like, you have blacks, Mexicans, and even some islanders there. So, I would hang out with like my homegirls are like Mexican, and I would have some black homegirls also.
Okay.
So I know like a lot of people.
Okay. Well, when did you start your first business?
My first business, so I started back in like 2016. I started a boutique. and it was called Mamacitas. And I really wanted to go with the trendy wear clothing, but then I realized how expensive it was, and people didn't want to spend so much money on trendy wear. So I opened up like a boutique at the indoor swap meet in Pomona. And so that's when I kind of started with like rolling with Mamacitas, because I had the trendy wear on one side of the booth, and then on the other side I had my actual streetwear. So my streetwear was selling like crazy. Everyone was able to relate to my logo, which is this one. So
yeah, it's dope ass logo.
So yeah, and then shout out to Ed Gutter. He's my artist. He draws all of my designs for my pictures and everything.
Is that you in the logo?
That's me. It's an actual photo of me that he redrew.
Okay.
So these girls were coming by, seeing the logo, and they were able to relate to it. Like, oh, that looks like me. Oh, that looks like my sister. Oh, that looks like whoever. Little chola on the, So they're like, oh, that looks like me. So everybody was able to relate to the logo. Sold out of all my merchandise, and that's when I decided to just go online.
Okay.
So kind of closed out like the whole boutique side of things because it wasn't working out.
Yeah, I want to talk about a little bit about like people having the courage like you to start a business and maybe not getting the result you wanted and not giving up. Like, what kind of things did you struggle with in your first business that you eventually knew how to handle eventually? But like, what were some of the biggest things that you were struggling with in that first business?
The first business, I felt it was like customers, not customer service, customers and marketing. I think that was one of those things. I didn't feel that I had, especially with like the boutique. I didn't have like Instagram wasn't even big like that during that time. So I didn't have like a following on Instagram. People didn't know about my online store. I didn't really know what it took to actually open up a business until I did have that guinea pig business, and I started learning that, okay, well, I just realized that I love shopping for clothes, but it was just a whole different story, like selling it,
Yeah.
So there were just things that I did have to learn, like.
Do you feel like it was worth starting that business even though it didn't succeed because you learned a lot from it?
Yes.
Or do you feel like you should have maybe done some more research, or do you feel like content with the way it happened?
I'm content with the way it happened.
Okay.
I am, because I feel like I did give it my all, and I did learn that I learned to work smarter, not harder,
Okay.
Yeah. And at some point I eventually, after getting into the streetwear, I used to be a big smoker, and then I came up with the rolling paper.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, if you do the math, it doesn't cost a lot to manufacture a box like this and a little box like this, It doesn't cost that much. But once you put the retail on this, you make a huge profit.
Yeah. Can I hold it for a second?
Yeah.
When I see this right here, like to some people, maybe regular people who don't own a business, it just looks like a little white box and with your product in it. But to me, when I see a box like this, I think about like, okay, design it, manufacture, who folds it, who puts it together, where do you order from, who's your connect, like there's a process from your idea to here. How did you get the idea for the rolling papers, and how did you make it come to reality?
So, I knew that with my brand, I'm like, okay, I have a brand. I'm into cannabis. I was reading a book too during the time. It was called was it the
Agreements?
No, I don't know if it was 4 Agreements. It was another one, The Tipping Point. And so in The Tipping Point, it talks about like them coming up with a product and all of that. So I'm like, dude, I didn't want to be like the book. Like, so I was like, what product can I come out with? I happen to be smoking. I've been a big smoker like during the whole time. And so I was smoking zigzags. And at some point, I was holding the zigzags. I'm like, dude, what if I make like my own brand? I use these all day. So I'm like, okay, let me see. I'm going to start doing research. All it takes is just doing the research and just kind of going for it. So yeah, that's basically how it just came to mind. Like I was just smoking one day, and then I'm like, what if I make my own brand?
Right.
And I just decided to try it. And at first it was a bit more simple. It didn't really have anything no information really on the little papers. So I decided to just make a batch and see how they did. So I started kind of promoting it with my friends. I had more of a following at that point, and so people just started buying it, and they're like, "Oh my God, these are the best papers I ever tried," and this and that. So people kind of started I started building a community, you know. So once I came out, they're like, "What's up with the king sizes?" So I made the king sizes, and this is where I'm at with them right now. And of course, I have more products coming. I'm getting into like the cones and all of that because people are asking for the cones now. And now they're getting into dispensaries. So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's dope. You know, a lot of people that smoke or do whatever they like to do come up with great ideas, but not many kind of like follow through and complete the process. What are some of the outlets or the information? Like, where'd you get your information for like manufacturing and stuff like that?
Google.
Okay. So it's easy.
Google and YouTubing, just starting a business A to B. Even though like you don't find all of that information on Google, I felt like I just had to read different articles and just eventually like find a source, and I did.
That's dope.
It requires a lot of research for sure.
Okay, that's good. What do you feel like was like the tipping point for the Rolling with Mamacita papers? You know, like, do you feel like there was a breaking point where like everything started going good, or was it like a slow buildup for you?
It was a slow buildup for me for sure. Until now, what's funny about it is that I feel that maybe 2021 I did a lot of marketing for it, and then the last couple of years it's kind of, I haven't done that much marketing for it, but it's kind of been growing on its own. I've had more friends like ask me for papers. People are promoting them. I've been getting invited to a lot more cannabis events or ask for for me to sponsor their events and stuff. So that's how I've been getting a lot more promotion. So I feel like it's kind of been moving on its own. But this year it's gonna definitely take another turn.
Okay, you did mention the cannabis business. I've been to a few things or like events and stuff like that. What I've noticed is that most businesses in general, right, unless it's like clothing or makeup or nails and stuff, it's a male-dominated business, right? What is your experience being a woman in a male-dominated business?
So it is pretty hard. In the beginning, it was super hard like to deal with it because I would have meetings or I'd be invited to meetings to talk to possibly have my papers in the dispensaries or whatever, and then I get there and it would turn out to be like, oh, like they had no interest in buying my paper. They're like, oh, let's go on a date, and stuff. So it would really bother me at first, it was really hard, and I would just completely cut ends with them and do all of that until my homeboy Dope Man, shout out to him. He's really helped me, he's really guided me on how to move with just different people, especially with the men, he's all like, dude, you can't be doing that. You can't be just cutting ends. That's how guys are and this and that. Cause I would take it really hard, in the beginning, cause it's damn, they're not even interested in my papers. They just want, take me on a date, whatever the hell they want to do. And, he's all, you have to use that to your advantage. Don't be stupid and all this stuff. So I'm like, oh, you're right. He's all like, you need to learn how to talk, you need to learn how to talk and all that. So I did start reading books on emotional intelligence and just different things, because it was getting to me. And yeah, now it's nothing. I'm going into these meetings and just a little sense that I get that they're going a different way. I'm like, look, dude, I'm here to do business with you. If you don't want to do business, that's cool. And I'll move on. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm not here to waste my time. So what is it?
Yeah.
So that's one of those things. I had to kind of build that strong skin or tough skin, whatever.
But you also have a storefront, right?
Yeah.
What's poppin'? It's your boy Moses. The best way to support the channel is to like, comment, subscribe on every episode. Don't forget the reels on Instagram. Don't forget the shorts on YouTube. Make sure you guys like and comment on everything you see from the Lit Outlet. Also, another big major way you can support the channel is to join our Patreon. The link is down below in the description. You can keep the channel alive by pledging $1 every month. You can also do $3, $5, $10, $20. But all I'm asking, if you're a Liddy and you're enjoying the content, to at least join our Patreon for $1 a month. Another way you can support the channel is to buy some merch. We got hoodies for $40 and we got t-shirts with this logo for $25. If you want to support the channel, those are the best ways. But also, if you want to just keep enjoying the content for free, you can do that too. I don't mind. So I want to say thank you to all of our liddies who are watching, liking, subscribing to all of our content here. Now let's get back to the show.
Okay, tell me more about your storefront.
So the storefront is like completely different to like cannabis. It's body sculpting.
Okay.
So body sculpting, I've been in that business for about 5 years now, and it's cool because I started working from like a spa, and it was just on a daily basis, and I started getting really busy. Like it was funny. People try to talk me out of it. I was getting the treatment myself, so I'm like, oh, I wonder like what it takes to do that, because it seems pretty cool, chill, and easy. So I did like the research for that, like how I could get certification and all that. And yeah, I ended up finding the information. I went out to Vegas to take the courses, and then came back home and then had all my stuff ready to go. And then, you know, it sparked the interest, you know, to women especially, because it's like, oh, I want to lose weight too, you know. So it started blowing up. When I tell you like things started blowing up, it really did, like even faster than the rolling papers. And so now, like, you know, starting from that spa, now I have like this building and I have these suites. So I rent out the suites, and I still have like my own business going, and I, you know, set my own schedule and everything. And I'm building an academy also that's going to be accredited by the state.
Okay.
So now I'm going to be offering classes, and I already offer the classes, but now there's going to be even accredited.
Okay.
You know,
how does that work? Like in the state of California, like, because body sculpting kind of sounds like a medical procedure, right? Like you have to be a doctor and stuff like that. Break that down for me. How does that work?
So it's actually non-invasive.
Okay.
And the machines are non-medical machines. So you don't need to be a nurse, like a RN, or you don't need to be a doctor to use these. They're like low-grade machines, but of course you still get results. So yeah, that's basically how it is, like how it works as far as like the state, you know.
Yeah. What exactly is body sculpting?
So it's a non-invasive weight loss treatment, and it helps people lose weight. So I use different tools to either liquefy your fat, or break down fats, tighten your skin, you know, things like that. So,
okay.
And it's painless and no downtime, you know.
Is it mostly for like older people or younger people, or does it matter?
It's pretty much all ages. You could even right now, especially since prom's around the corner, I do have a lot of moms calling me like, hey, like my daughter wants to look good in her prom dress. You know, I'm like, okay, as long as she has your permission, then we could do it. So like 16 is like the oldest I can really work on. But yeah, I have a lot of 17, 18-year-olds calling right now wanting to get fit for like their prom.
Yeah.
But it's really all ages. I even had like, this 75-year-old, like she tried to scam me too.
No way.
I was like,
what do you mean?
I was kind of like, I didn't know how to feel about it. I'm like, damn, she's 75. She tried to get body sculpt. Then she tried to scam me. I'm like, I don't know how to feel about it.
How'd she try to scam you?
So this lady kept calling, right? So she wanted an appointment, and I didn't have like the availability she was looking for. Finally, I was able to get her in. She bought a package, and these packages are like, she probably gave me like $800, right? So then the next day, I'm like, okay, you could come back tomorrow or whatever for your next session. She comes back, or I was waiting for her the next day at her appointment time, and this lady like randomly like hits me up. Like this was probably like 5 minutes after her appointment. She hits me up, and mind, I was there waiting for her. She hits me up and she was like, hey, I just went by the shop and no one's there. And I'm like, what? I'm like, yes, I am. I'm right here waiting for you. And I'm like, come in. Like, where are you? She's like, I already left. I went there and no one was there. I'm going to call my bank, and I'm going to tell them that you scam me and all this stuff. And then I'm like, so basically like she ended up getting this free session because I ended up refunding her. And I'm like, look, ma'am, I don't do business like this. So I'm going to go ahead and just I'm like, if you wanted your money back, you could have just said that. Or if whatever. I just refunded her, you know, but she really scammed me for like a session. So I guess she did scam me.
Yeah. How much do sessions go for?
Like about $95.
Okay. And that's like for like per body part, or like
per body part. Yeah. And it's about a 45-minute session.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's good. It's cool.
Tell me about the academy. I feel like that's a super interesting way of making money, basically, because I think some people would assume like they will want to gatekeep what you know, right? Like I don't want to teach other people. I don't want to promote how you can make money like me. But you're kind of doing the opposite, where like you want to spread the information to people.
Oh yeah, and it's I'm like that just because when I was trying to get started with all of my businesses, I didn't have any guidance. I had to look for all of that information myself, and this academy. I just kind of and then when I took the class for body sculpting, I really felt like the instructor pretty much just showed us how to use a machine. She didn't show us how to start our business, how to get customers, like marketing, none of that. So I make sure that I do provide all of that information, at least to get them started and going. So most of my students call me like, hey, I already made my money back from the class. You know, and the reason why I'm going forward with this academy to get accredited, this is something else that you're going to learn about me, is I'm part of a nonprofit organization, and it's called Women in Progress. And we help women that are in recovery from like drugs, women that have been incarcerated. So basically, they're able to fund my academy if any of these women decide to take body sculpting or all the other, because I offer other courses. So they're able to fund me if these women are, but I have to be accredited. So that's one of the reasons why I'm even like getting accredited.
What made you want to be part of that organization?
Well, first off, one of the CEO reached out to me because she needed a donation hub. So she was wondering if she was able to use my salon as a hub for donations. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Like, I'm down with it, you know? And there's a lot of things that I went through as a kid that I relate to these women and stuff. So that's how I even got tied up with this organization. So like, for example, this Sunday, we're all getting together. We're going to be separating all of the donations and all that so we could get ready for our event on the 13th. That's going to be we go to recovery homes and we give these women like complete makeovers. Dope. So we give them clothes, we give them brand new makeup. I'm probably going to be waxing eyebrows because it's too many girls to do body sculpting on. I went to the last couple other events. Oh my gosh, we're talking about like 15, 20 girls lining up to get their eyebrows waxed. You know, so I'm like, yeah, I can't do body sculpting on all these women.
Yeah.
Like, I'm only doing eyebrows, so mustaches, I don't know.
I'll line you up.
That's it. Mustaches, sorry, I don't have time.
Did you go to school for being an esthetician?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No. For nurse, I did a LVN.
Okay. Is body sculpting and like eyebrows, that's all part of the same like scope of practice?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is. That's why I'm even in school for RN right now. So I want to complete that so I could offer more services and be super like certified, you know, for my business.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you, like, since you're already a successful business owner, you own the building where you practice and have your own store. Why still go to school? Why become an RN? You know.
Just to one of those things is I want to offer other services such as like I want to get into esthetician also. I want to do aesthetics. So there's certain like facials, machines that only RNs can use. So I want to be able to do that. I don't really want to pay an RN to like do all of that for me when I could just go to school. I mean, it doesn't hurt to like, you can never be, overdressed or undereducated. You know what I mean? So why not?
Interesting.
Yeah, so just to grow my business, I'm willing to take those steps.
Because I feel like, you know, that's an interesting point of view, because I feel like most people or women or men, whoever, that say like, oh, I'm going to go to school to be an RN. The first thing that people think is like, oh, wow, you're going to go get a job somewhere when you already own your business. But you're doing it so you could do like maybe like IVs and stuff, or like. Yeah,
I want to do IVs, Botox, lip fillers, and just like other stuff. Like these crazy facials. They're called like peels. And they're like these just like acid peels, like just different things.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you always been into like the aesthetics and stuff like that as a young person, or something you've
always? The thing is that I've always been in the medical field.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've always been in the medical field. Like in high school, I took I was like behind all these credits and all this stuff. So like I went to like this continuation school, and they're like, if you want to graduate, you have to take either this or this for the units. So I'm just like, I was like, fuck. I wanted to do cosmetology, right? So cosmetology was packed. They didn't have no more room for me. So the only other thing was medical assistant. And I'm like, I don't want to do medical assistant. And that happened to be the best like decision of my life. I had to do it, and I went through with it. So straight out of high school, like I was like in the medical field.
Okay, where were you working at?
I was working at like clinics.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was working at like clinics. Then I got into phlebotomy, so I was working like at a lab. You know, up until recently, I worked in the medical field. January, I like quit working at a hospital.
This January that just passed?
This January that just passed.
Oh shit.
I just quit because I had enough of it.
Yeah.
The politics that go through, especially working for a big organization, and when it comes to like seniority and all of that, it was just like a pain in the butt. You know?
Was it something that you were kind of tiptoeing towards eventually, and you were just kind of like had to pull a trigger?
Yeah, because I felt like all of the energy I was putting into the other organization, I could have just been putting it into my businesses. You know.
You know, I used to for a while I had a job, and then I quit for like a year and a half to focus on this, which kind of like helped it push along, but eventually I had to go back and get a job, right? It's pretty scary being on your own.
It is.
Trying to figure out where your money's gonna come from, right?
Exactly.
What are some of the things you do to help you relax and kind of focus and not get scared to jump back into a job?
I just make sure that I always like to plan my like my promotions and everything like 3 months in advance. So 3 months in advance, I already know what the hell I'm promoting, what my goals are, you know, for each month, like how much money I'm trying to make each month. So I really like just push for those goals at each month. Like whether it has to be like body sculpting, okay, I have to make, I don't know, 10 grand this month, whatever. Okay, I have to sell this many packages. So I'll just run ads. It's all marketing, you know?
What do you think is the most successful, or like your best practice as far as getting new customers? Are you doing like paid ads? Are you collaborating with people?
Paid ads.
Giving away free stuff? What works for you?
So I think paid ads and free stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so a lot of, once a month I do provide like a free service. And it's like the easiest service I can do. And that just kind of like, fishes the clients in. You know, they'll come in for this free service, and that gives me the opportunity to tell them about what's going on, what I could do for them and everything. So they're like, I don't have money. Oh, girl, I have financing option here.
Ooh, sick.
I have financing option. Or like, they're like, do you have payment plans? I'm like, this is the only payment plan I offer.
Is it Care Credit? Care Credit?
I'm trying to get Care Credit, but it's something else. It's called Cherry.
Okay.
And all the spas are using it. So it's Cherry, and then I have Afterpay and Sezzle. So those are like the pay-in-fors.
Sick.
Yeah, so I offer all of that. So I'm like, girl, if you don't have that, then we have this.
The paying for is so clutch. Like, my girl put me on it, and it's like every time like it's my birthday or whatever, like I tell her like what I want. I'm like, how are you affording these things like that I want? And it's like, oh, I gotta use Afterpay. I'm like, oh, genius, make weekly
Like,
payments.
Yes. So every 2 weeks they make the payments. And you know, these some of them are like they don't run your credit. You know, even though they're approved for maybe like $300, that's still enough to get something at the 3 sessions or something, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it works for everyone really.
Can you give me like a list of things that you offer right now at this moment?
So pretty much body sculpting, post-op care. So post-op care is basically if you had surgery. So the women that had lipo, tummy tucks, boob jobs. So I'll offer like all of the services as far as stitch removal, wound care, the lymphatic massages that they need. So we drain all of the fluid from like the little hole, the lipo holes. So that's all. I do other stuff too, but it's mainly those things that I'm focused on just because I am in school, and I had to really limit like my clientele intake.
Okay.
Because I was just a little too busy.
Yeah, you know, one of those things too, when like you're like a solo entrepreneur, which was, I'm not sure if you have employees or not, but I don't. I kind of run everything by myself. It's like you want to take on so many things, but sometimes you're like, you don't have enough time in the day.
Yeah, it's true. That's very true. I did have another business. I had like it was a lash business, and I did have employees, and it didn't work out that much, you know. And so I decided to like close out that business because like when you have employees, it really sucks to be on the same page with them. Like you have all this, you're spending, first of all, you're investing all this money into this business, and then you have these employees and they're not putting in their work, or like I had to go through like several lash techs, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not made for this type. I'm like a solo person.
Yeah.
Once I get busy with like this and I need to hire like, employees for like the warehouse and stuff, that's going to be a whole different story. But I'll what is it? How do you say it? Like once I cross that path, whatever.
Cross that bridge.
Yeah. I'll deal with it.
Is there any like, are most of your clients women or men?
We gotta take a second from this episode to give a shout out to our sponsor, Mr. Yu's Chinese Food. They've been in business since 1992. And that's right, it all started in the IE. The Montclair location offers a Teriyaki Tuesday. You get a bowl of teriyaki plus a drink for only $6. You heard right, only $6. Come here a little closer. Let me let you in on a little secret about Mr. Yu. Did you know they had a secret menu? That's right, you heard it here first. They got a secret menu. Let me tell you a few things about their secret menu. They got Spam fried rice, Thai chili fries, teriyaki chicken fried rice, pad Thai, jalapeno wontons. And that's just to name a few. Again, shout out to Mr. Yu for sponsoring this episode. Now let's get back to the show.
Both.
Really?
Well, the majority are women, but I'm starting to get a lot of men.
What do men ask for?
So pretty much tummy.
Okay.
Pretty much tummy. What else? Yeah, it's pretty much their stomach. A lot of them have beer bellies, I'm like, but you can drink beer, okay?
Yeah. There's all the guys with the beer belly showing up.
Yeah, beer bellies. And I'm like, okay, but you can drink beers, okay? And then they're like, why, I'm like,
that's how we got in this problem.
Yeah, that's how we got in this problem. So they'll come in with like these beer bellies, and I'm just like all hard too, and I'm like, dang, how am I gonna?
So how does that work? Like describe or like explain to me the difference between like hard fat, brown fat, white fat. Like what are the different types of fats that you work on?
I work on all fats. Doesn't matter. Like I'll get you down. I'll get you down sizes. When it comes to like the hard fats, I do use like wood tools. So I do like a kind of like a massage, and then go in like it's kind of looks like you're making tortillas, like the little I don't know what it's called, but that's what it looks like. But then just go in with the machine, and then they lose some weight, and it's always easier for the men to lose weight.
Why do you think that is?
I mean, because I don't know. Yeah, the men always lose weight faster. I had a client coming in like for a whole month getting ready for this vacation she was going on, and so she was coming in all month, she was looking good and everything, and then her man decides to come like a week or 2 weeks before like the vacation, and he got so snatched, abs and everything, and I'm like, girl. And he got on a diet and lost weight so fast, and like we got him all, like he had abs, and I'm like, dude. And she's like, oh my god, I can't believe he lost weight so fast, and all this. He's all last minute.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go down there and
check it out. I got you.
On me.
I got you.
So like, do you have plans on like expanding, opening multiple locations? Because right now you're only in Pomona.
I'm in Ontario.
Ontario. Okay.
It's a little hard right now because it's just me. But for now, I'm kind of just focused on that one location because it's going so well. I feel like maybe later in the future, I don't want to expand so soon. Even though it's been like 5 years already, I don't want to expand so soon. Okay. I kind of learned my lesson with like the whole lash salon, which it's a whole different like thing. But I feel like right now it's super manageable the way things are going.
Okay. You did mention that you went through a few things in your, not childhood, but like growing up that kind of made you want to join the women's group. What are some of the things that you went through?
Probably just like the abuse, like being in abusive relationships.
At a young age? At
a young age. Like, I was I felt I was 17 going through these abusive relationships, like with these cholos and stuff, So yeah, it made me want to kind of get into, and I was with the guy for a very long time too, so it made me want to get into these groups and help women, just because at some point in my life I had to ask for help, and I felt like that's how I changed my life, so I want to be able to help other women change their lives too.
What is the help that you needed?
Therapy, joining a group, of abusive relationships, things like that. So that's kind of what we provide in that group, not just abusive things like that, but the whole the drugs and the incarceration too.
Okay. When you were in that abusive relationship, you knew that it was wrong and abusive, but you still stayed?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you think you stayed?
According to my therapist, she said that it all goes down to your childhood. And I was looking for men that were kind of like my dad. And I'm like, my dad wasn't like that crazy though. And she's all like, well, that's what you're kind of like looking for, like men that are like your dad. But my dad was a cholo, you know. When he came from Mexico, he was part of like a hood in Compton and like, you know, all of that. So I don't know exactly like everything that my mom went through with him, because she doesn't like really tell us, but I kind of have a feeling that maybe she went through a lot of the same things that I was going through, you know?
Yeah.
So
Are your parents still together?
they are still together.
That's dope.
Yeah, so now he's a completely changed man. Like my dad had to go through years of therapy to even get out of, like, you know, he's Mexican, so he has like this machismo to him. So there was a lot, like he went through 10 years of therapy to finally like get out. Now he's a completely different person. He's so much chiller, much cooler and everything.
Okay.
There is a point in my life to where I was separated from him for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah.
You have a tattoo of the ace right here on the side?
Yes, I do. Ace, and I have a K. So the A is for my nephew. His name is Ace.
Okay.
And the K is for my niece Kaylani.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have any kids?
No.
Okay. Do you plan on having kids?
I don't know.
Yeah. What is it? What is it about kids that?
I mean, the thing is that, first of all, like, I'm single. I'm single, so I don't have anyone to have this kid with, you know?
Okay.
And then second, like, sometimes I'll spend some time there with my niece and nephew, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, damn, I'm going home. Like, they're bouncing off the walls, and it's just like,
It's
I
not
don't
for you.
know. Yeah, because I've been like alone this whole for a long time, that I'm just kind of like not used to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'll be there like 30 minutes to an hour, and I'm like, damn, I'm going home.
Yeah. Are you an only child?
No, I have 4 other siblings.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have an older sister, then it's me, then I have 3 other siblings. So it's 4 girls and a brother. Yeah,
Okay.
so they're wild, just kind of.
You have this event coming up. Tell us about the event. How are you a part of it?
So this is the event. I'm going to be a sponsor
Okay.
at this event. So it's like a music festival. It's a 3rd annual music festival. So I'm a sponsor here. I'll have a booth here. So if you're looking for rolling papers, merch, such as, you know, you see a shirt, smoke accessories, I'll be selling them there. We could flick up.
That's right.
They're gonna have plenty of cannabis there, food, and upcoming artists. So there is some artists on here that are kind of known in LA, but they're super upcoming. So you'll be able to kind of see like the new artists coming. So
Flight Times 2024, 420 Spark Up, hosted by Fun Directs. It's on Melrose House. Yeah, a bunch of artists sponsored by. Oh, your logo's down there too, and it's 21 and over.
yeah, 21 and over. So don't try to bring
No kids.
No kids, please.
What are some of the things that you look for in the future right now? Like, what are you like? Maybe some goals. Like maybe someone that's kind of like wants to follow in your footsteps. What are some of the things that you are looking for? Because I'm sure people are looking up to you. But who do you look up to, or what are you looking for in the future?
So, a couple of the things, I kind of look up to a Burner, you know, like, and his business, cookies. You know, I feel like, I mean, you know, he's a Mexican man, and he has this freaking $1 billion empire that he made off of cannabis, you know, and he started off as a rapper. I'm sure, like, when he started his, cookies, he didn't know how big it was gonna be. Like, I have, you know, friends coming from out of state, and then they're like, where's the cookie store? I want to go to the cookie store. That's the first thing I'm like, dude, I just picked you up from the airport.
Yeah.
They're like, let's go to the cookie store, and I'm like, all right, let's go. You know, and I actually had a chance to meet him too earlier this year.
Okay, cool.
He's all holding my papers. I'm like, hell yeah.
Was that at the Hazard event? Was it Hazard?
No, it was, I was actually in his movie, a movie that he has coming up. It's called Splash City.
Really?
So I was an extra in there.
Dope.
So there's like a strip club scene. And one of my homegirls, shout out to Bernice, love you girl. She, I was like, oh, that's dope. She's like, girl, I have a scene for you, like, but it's over here in San Francisco. Are you down to come out here? And I'm like, girl, when? So I took a flight out there, and yeah, it was like I was there a full day, and yeah, I was I was a waitress. So it was really cool. It was a really cool experience.
Yeah. That was your first time being in a movie?
No. I was actually, oh yeah, in a movie, yes. But I've been in an extra on Mayans also.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Dope. What
Yeah.
season?
I don't even know. To be honest with you, I didn't even know what season I was on. My friend, because she has a...
Is it from the set? Sage to the, from the set?
Yeah,
to the set?
that's her. Yep.
Okay.
That's her. So she said, hey, I submitted your pictures for the show. And I'm like, all right. And she's like, yeah, and you got it. So this is a date and time. Like, are you going to come? And I'm like, okay, sure. So I just came. I didn't really know too much about Mayans or anything until like afterwards. I'm like, damn, it's a big show.
It's pretty big. It's a pretty big show.
So then it was funny when the episode did come out, like family members and people were all tagging me like, oh, I seen you in the back over there drinking a freaking beer and all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, yeah.
Is that something that you might want to get into, or is it just kind of like your friend throws alley-oops and you just come through? Or...
I'm down. Like, I know that she has like a her people or whatever, and they have like daily, I see that they have like daily classes, like acting classes and stuff. So I don't go to those, you know. I wish I can, but I feel like if it's something that kind of keeps coming to me, you know, so it's like, maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll land a big role sometime.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have to probably put in a bit more work, like as far as acting goes.
Yeah, so you're not...
Take more classes and stuff.
You didn't get nervous, like, you know, camera shy or anything like that? Like, you felt comfortable?
Yeah, I wasn't shy, which was kind of surprising, you know, because I'm kind of a shy person, but I'm starting to get pretty comfortable with just the camera and just being around a lot of people in general, you know?
Okay. I don't know if you noticed, but, like, especially lately on Instagram with the power of social media, like, there's a lot of more, like, Chicanos or, like, Mexicans from, whether it's LA or other big cities around the country that are kind of, like, putting each other or themselves on. Have you noticed, like, a big surge in, like, maybe people being more proud of being Chicano and, like, opening a small business? Or do you feel like it's always been like that?
I feel like it's kind of always been like that, you know? Yeah, I feel like it's always been like that, thinking about it. Because even when I was starting my businesses, I felt like there was hella, like, Mexican girls starting boutiques. Like, that was a popular thing, you know? So, yeah, I feel like it's always been like that.
Is there beef in, like, the esthetician world? Like, in the eyelash industry?
You know, there's beef everywhere.
Tell me about it.
Every industry that you're in, there's always beef.
What is,
in
like,
the beginning,
go ahead.
in the beginning, like when I got into body sculpting, yeah, they were beefing because, like, everybody was doing trainings, you know, and that's what people were beefing about. Like, oh, you haven't even been training. I mean, you haven't even been doing body sculpting for that long, and you're already starting training. I'm like, well, you know what? People trust me, and they're paying me, so I'm gonna teach them. Because I started pretty quick, like 6 months into already doing body sculpting, I already started offering trainings. Because that was like my goal, you know, because that's where the money is. Like, you'll make whatever, couple thousands, you know, teaching someone to do it.
Yeah. Has your price increased over time?
Yeah, it has.
Okay.
It has. So I started with like 70, like one session 75, and now it's 95.
Okay. What about the academy, like teaching people how to do it? Has that price also increased?
I kind of keep it the same, but it is once like it's official and it's accredited, I am gonna raise the prices because now I'm getting funded by the government, so I'll be like 10K. I'm just kidding, not that much.
Do you like do you try to cater to a certain type of audience, like whether it's like people with low income, middle income, high income, or like a certain type of like maybe cultures and stuff, or do you kind of like market to everybody?
When it comes to my well, first of all, in the area that I have my salon, I'm catering to people that make 90 to 100K a month. I mean, a year. A month, imagine.
Damn.
So that's who I'm catering to. So I'm catering to like high-end clients. One day, I swear, like the whole day, okay, so I had a client that pulled up in her, it was a G-Wagon. And then my next client pulled up in a Range Rover. And then the next client pulled up in an X5. I was like, dang, all my clients are pretty high-end, you know? Yeah. But when it comes to like the classes, I do try to like, you know, it's a more low income people that want to take the class, honestly.
Yeah. Do you have any like success stories of people that you've taught body sculpting to that now they also have their own businesses?
Oh yeah, like I have, okay, so a couple actually. So I have a student in Arizona. She now has her own like facility, and then this client and or the student in Miami, she has like so she's doing body sculpting, but she opened up like this recovery home like for BBLs and like stuff like that.
Damn.
So she's making good money, especially in Miami, because they have a lot of like plastic surgery going on over there.
Yeah. Did you ever get any work done?
Maybe. You know, a little something here and a little something there.
I feel like back in the day it was more like, you know, something to like kind of hide, but nowadays I feel like a lot of people have it. It's kind of more normalized, right?
Yeah, it's like normalized. Yeah, so I've had my little stuff here and there.
Okay. Do you body sculpt yourself?
Yes, of course. I'm over there like last week I was on a roll because I was in Mexico this past weekend, and so I had to get like bikini ready, you know. So I'm over there like you know, and I'm like started working out a little too late. So I'm like, dang, now I have to really like do this.
Yeah. I'll probably just get the machine to do it on myself at home
Like-
and stuff. So a lot of people get kind of stuck on the numbers as far as like followers or views and likes and stuff like that. How do you maximize using your Instagram, whether it's like promoting your business, but also building yourself as a brand, right? Because a lot of people follow you and want to support you. Do you ever have like the issue where like, oh, I don't want to post that. That's too much information, personal business about me, or like I have to post it because it promotes my brand?
So that's a great question, because I actually had my personal page. So there I would kind of post pictures of myself, because on my business pages I do post myself, but not as much, because I started getting creeped out by people. And so I went ahead and just deleted my personal page just because I was starting to get creeped out. Like I was getting like 400 views, 500 views on my stories. And then I would have like 10 likes on my pictures and stuff. So I started getting really creeped out by it. So I deleted that. And then with my business pages, I'm more focused on that. So I'm able to post like memes and stuff that kind of like separates like my personal life to things that kind of go hand in hand with like my business, like still promoting my business, but it has nothing to do with my personal life, you know?
Okay.
So I had to really learn how to do that without putting myself, a lot of people don't know much about me because I don't like to put myself out there like that.
Cool.
You know?
Well, I want to say thank you for pulling up to the podcast and sharing your story and promoting your brand here with us. Let the people know where they can find you and like how they can support and buy your products.
Okay. So you can find me at Rollin, ROLLIN, with Mamacitas on Instagram, or Hourglass Body Sculpting _ on Instagram also. And you can just DM or email me and place an order for rolling papers. My website did get flagged, so we're relaunching it.
Okay. Why did it get flagged?
Because of the what are they? The merchant. The merchant flagged me. I wasn't using the right merchant. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're, I guess, conservative. They didn't want to deal with hemp.
Okay, and products and stuff like that. You know what I do want to get into? I want to get into specifically like the type of papers that you use, because you know when I was smoking weed, I was using hella like blunt wraps and maybe sometimes some zigzags and stuff like that. Are you conscious about what you put inside your papers?
Yes, I am. So this is all natural products, and I like to promote. The reason why I used to smoke blunts, but I started having really bad chest pain and respiratory issues from the tobacco. So that's why I even changed to zigzags. But then I found out that white paper, like the zigzags, because zigzags I feel has hemp too, but anyways, white paper is bleach, so it has more chemicals in it, and this is like, it's hemp, it's a tree basically, so it's pretty much natural and slow burning.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So everyone, if you're still watching this, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys support Monica, aka Mamacita, on her entrepreneurial journey. She has a lot of cool stuff. Make sure you guys check her out. Like I always say, pull up, turn up, stay lit, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.